Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is August 18th, 2023, and today the committee of referees have confirmed that Barcelona were robbed in the match against Getafe. Also, it's reported that the signing of Joao Cancelo is only a matter of time as Barcelona and Manchester City are getting really close to finalizing this transfer. And finally, Atletico Madrid are open to loaning Joao Felix to Barcelona. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before we begin with the news, just a quick reminder to make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps this channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jersey or merchandise, make sure you hit the kit bag where they're currently having a 25% promotion and where they also just announced brand new Barcelona gear. And finally, if you are looking to place any sports bet, not just on Barcelona matches, but all the La Liga matches and all sporting events around the world, make sure you hit the Bet Us. Both links for Kitbag and Bet Us are down below in the description. Now, beginning with the news that Barcelona are hoping to get a new advancement out of that activation of the economic levers that was just announced a few days ago. Now, as I reported previously, Barcelona activated an economic lever where they sold 29% of Barca Studios to a German investment fund called Libero for 120 million euros, and per the agreement, Libero advanced 30 million euros to Barcelona, which of course helped the club begin registering their players ahead of La Liga season. Well, it's reported that Barcelona are expecting or hoping for another small advancement, not as big as the first one, from this German fund, which they hope that with this money, they will be able to finalize all the signings for this transfer market and also finalize registering the rest of the contracts that are still pending, such as Marcos Alonso and Íñigo Martínez. Now, as I reported in yesterday's video, Barcelona have announced that Ronald Araujo has suffered an injury in his left hamstring during training, and as a result, he will be out for almost a month. And today it's being reported that the medical staff in Barcelona are very worried about the current injuries that Araujo continues to suffer every season, and therefore they have decided to conduct a comprehensive study of Araujo because they want to understand what's going on and they want to get down to the root of the problem. Now, injuries, of course, are very common in this sport with players suffering injuries all the time, but what's very concerning about Ronald Araujo is that he's young. He's also someone that takes care of himself, so he trains really well. He eats really well. He doesn't have any kind of bad habits like staying up late at night or eating junk food or going out partying. He is a very disciplined athlete. He's very young, someone who takes care of himself very well. So Barcelona medical staff don't understand why Ronald Araujo continues to suffer 3, 4, 5 injuries per season. So they have decided to conduct a comprehensive study of the player because they want to get down to the root of the problem, and hopefully they'll be able to determine that problem, because Araujo has proven to be the best center back in Barcelona and one of the best in the entire world, and we don't want to see him spending that much time off the fields. Now, as you already know, Barcelona are set to face off against Cadiz in the second match of La Liga season. And as always, Xavi Hernandez held a pre-match press conference where he discussed several topics, but more importantly, he was asked about Ansu Fati and the possibility of the player not only leaving the club, but going to Real Madrid. And to that, Xavi Hernandez said, "This is a joke, right? I've already been very clear when talking about Ansu. You keep generating nonsensical debates. Ansu is part of the club's heritage and a very important player. He's the present and future." Now, as I've been talking about these past few days, there's been a lot of rumors about Ansu Fati, with many reports saying that Barcelona are looking to push the player out of the club, and with one report saying that Ansu Fati had decided to leave Barcelona because of the pressure that he was feeling, and with another report stating that Ansu Fati had decided to stay in the club and fight for his own spot. And given all these different reports and all these different rumors circling the player, Xavi Hernandez decided to try to put an end to these rumors by saying that Ansu Fati is the club's heritage and that he is the future. Now, it seems that Joan Laporta is someone who does not want Ansu Fati to leave. He believes that Ansu Fati is the club's heritage. He's a Barcelona man who has came out through La Masia. And even though he would respect the decision if Ansu Fati decides to leave, it seems that Joan Laporta does not want Ansu Fati to leave the club. And he has communicated his strong opinion to Xavi Hernandez. So it's definitely, we definitely have to wonder whether Xavi Hernandez's statements were due to Joan Laporta's insistence on Ansu Fati to stay, or whether it was completely false this whole time and Xavi Hernandez did not want Ansu Fati to leave the club to begin with. Now on to the news that today the committee of referees confirmed that Barcelona were absolutely robbed in that match against Getafe. Now, for those of you who did not watch the match, during the final moments of the match against Getafe, there was a clear foul committed against Ronald Araujo in Getafe's penalty box. And when the referee went to review the play in the VAR, he determined that yes, there was a penalty, a foul worth of a penalty kick. However, he decided not to rule for a penalty kick because a few seconds before that, the boss had seemed to brush Gabi's arm, and therefore he ruled that was a handball and did not award the penalty kick to Barcelona. Now, of course, Barcelona were absolutely furious because this happened during the final moments of the match, and had Barcelona been awarded that penalty kick, most likely Barcelona would have won that match, taking home 3 important points. However, the referee took that away from Barcelona, and today the committee of referees confirmed that the referee was absolutely wrong, that ball was not a handball by Gabi, and that the penalty kick should have been awarded to Ronald Araujo. Now, the committee of referees also ruled on a separate matter that there was a foul committed by Militao against Unai in that match between Real Madrid and Athletic Club de Bilbao, and that the referees also got it wrong in that match, with Athletic Club de Bilbao deserving a clear penalty kick that they were not awarded. And this just goes to show the mediocrity in Spanish refereeing, which is something that I've been talking about for quite some time. Now, that was not the only bad refereeing call during the match against Getafe. The referee allowed Getafe's player to batter and assault Barcelona's players throughout the entire match without any consequences. And of course, Barcelona did receive 2 red cards, one for Rafinha and one for Xavi Hernandez, and where La Liga have decided that each one of them should be serving a 2-match ban. Now, of course, the red card for Rafinha was well-deserved because Rafinha did elbow Gaston in the face, but what's not fair is the 2-match suspension or the 2-match ban that Rafinha has received, because Barcelona had argued that Rafinha should only get a 1-match ban because a few seconds before that, Gaston had hit Rafinha in the face, causing him to bleed. And since Rafinha retaliated as a result of that, he should only serve a 1-match ban. Now, Barcelona argued this based on precedent because last season, Vinicius Jr. punched a Valencia player in the face and he received a red card, but he was only banned for 1 match because Real Madrid argued that a few seconds before that, that Valencia player had punched Vinicius Jr. in the face. And since this was provocation, that Vinicius Jr. should only serve 1-match ban, and La Liga, of course, agreed with that ruling. Now, Xavi Hernandez also received a 2-match ban because of that red card that he was shown after he complained about a foul committed against Abde, where Xavi Hernandez considered that that foul should have been a red card. And what's interesting about this 2-match ban that both Rafinha and Xavi Hernandez have received, it's that it was handed down by a man called Miguel Garcia Cava. Now, Miguel Garcia Cava is not only the man who handed down the punishment for Xavi and Rafinha. Lo and behold, if you look at his resume, he's a former Real Madrid employee. And in fact, he was the head of the legal services or the judicial department of the Madrid-based club. Now, this just goes to show the total incompetence and the corruption that's currently in La Liga, because all these referees, the committee of referees and all these governing bodies are completely full with former Real Madrid players, club members, or former employees, which of course, it's a clear conflict of interest, but yet you're never gonna hear about this, and all you're gonna hear about is the Enrique Steirera case and how Barcelona supposedly rigged all these leagues, all these La Liga seasons, despite there being zero evidence to that. But when we look at these kind of cases, there's absolutely no investigations or no fuss about the fact that all these former Real Madrid people who are connected to the Real Madrid club are in position of power and are ruling or making rulings that affect all the clubs in La Liga negatively, but yet they serve Real Madrid in a positive way. Now on to more positive news, and it's reported that the signing of Joao Cancelo is a matter of time, as both Barcelona and Manchester City are getting very close to finalizing this transfer. Now, as we reported before, Joao Cancelo has already agreed to come to Barcelona on loan, and Manchester City has a pre-agreement with Barcelona to loan the player to the club. But there was a clear discrepancy or a clear difference between both parties, where Barcelona wanted an option to buy and Manchester City were insisting on an obligation to buy, and this is kind of what's been holding up the negotiations so far. What's being reported today that the clubs are very close to reaching an agreement, and it seems that Barcelona could be getting away with a one-season loan with an option to buy worth around 30 to 35 million euros, which is of course much less than the 60 million euros that Manchester City were asking for. And it's also an option to buy versus the obligation to buy that the Premier League club were insisting on. Now, there are other reports stating that Barcelona have been able to convince Manchester City to pay for a small portion of Joao Cancelo's salary, but these reports are not as confirmed as the reports talking about the option to buy worth 30 to 35 million euros. So for now, we are going to have to wait and see what kind of agreement Barcelona will be able to negotiate. And it seems like we won't have to wait for too long, because the signing of Joao Cancelo is only a matter of time. It could be announced as soon as this weekend. Now, speaking of Joaos and speaking of loans, it's reported that Atletico Madrid are now open to loaning Joao Felix to Barcelona. Now, as we've been talking about these past few weeks, Atletico Madrid are looking to get rid of Joao Felix, and Joao Felix is looking to leave the Madrid-based club, with the player insisting that he will only go to Barcelona. And even though Atletico Madrid were insisting that they were looking for a permanent deal, it seems that they have relaxed their posture, and now Atletico Madrid are open to loaning Joao Felix to Barcelona. Now, it's reported that Atletico Madrid are looking for a transfer fee around 8 to 10 million euros, and they're also looking for Barcelona to cover the entire salary of the player, which Barcelona think they can get a better deal than that. And even though Jean Laporta and his board of directors are hoping to sign Joao Felix as kind of a marketing boost for the club, they know that the signing of Felix is not a priority, so they're not looking to make any crazy offers or any crazy pushes for the player. So for now, they're just gonna sit back, let time pass by, wait until the final days of the transfer market, and see whether Atletico Madrid get desperate enough and end up relaxing their postures even more. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I would like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, peace, Barça.